Hello, I'm Michael Richard. It's Sunday, March the 29th, 2020, and I'm stuck in Spain. The clocks went forward this morning, so we're now 9 hours ahead of PST, and anybody who wants to call me can call me anytime up to 11 a.m. PST, and I will still be awake. At 12, at noon PST, I'll be in bed and heading to sleep. I've been thinking a lot about separation anxiety recently, and it's something that many of us, probably most of us, will be going through. We're separated from those we love. Sometimes our families are just a few miles apart, but they might as well be on the other side of the world because we can't go and see them, we can't visit them. We can talk to them using phone and videos, and video chatting is becoming the norm nowadays. But separation is a real thing. Karen, the love of my life, is in Las Vegas, so we're 7,000 plus miles apart, and there's no way that she can get over here or I can get back to the US. And we've no idea how long this situation will last and when flights will resume. And when those flights resume, are they going to be so expensive that we simply won't be able to afford to buy a ticket? Very difficult, but nobody knows. Parents are stuck at home with their kids, which is hard because kids want to be out playing and they want to be with their friends and they want to be outside and they want to be away from you, but now they can't. If you've got a garden, they can go outside and play in their own garden, but they can't have friends over, they can't have play dates, they can't have sleepovers, they can't have anything. So that's going to be very, very hard for parents. And children want to be and need to be needlessly entertained. So that, on top of everything else, is very stressful for the parents trying to figure out ways to keep their children amused. But imagine how much worse it is when those parents aren't happy together, they're not in a good relationship. That is something that is so common and usually is managed by just staying out of each other's way. But now that's not really possible. You're all in the same place, in the same situation, and my heart goes out to you. When people are together, nerves are frayed and tempers come to the forefront. So you have to be very careful not to let that be you, because you don't want to have to deal with the consequences of that anger in a confined situation. But how does everybody, and I'm including myself in this, deal with it? For me, it's easy. I'm on my own. I have a comfortable environment and I'm comfortable with my own company. But for families, I think what you all need to do is to find a safe space. Take a room, make it your space, organize it and make it comfortable so that you can go in and sit down and relax. And when you're in that room, nobody is allowed to disturb you. That's your safe space. It will give you time to regroup, to not really relax, but to perhaps be a little bit more relaxed. And it'll give you time to think. And we all need time to think. We all need time on our own. And it's not because we don't want to be with other people or like other people. We just need to be alone with our own thoughts. Bill Gates, who I admire immensely, goes off to a very plain cabin. I think it's on a lake. It's very simple. Doesn't befit a billionaire or a multiple billionaire. But it's a place where he goes to just think and read. There are no distractions for him. He takes a huge pile of books, most of which are so technical that reading a page or two would put all of us to sleep. But he reads and devours these books voraciously because he's got an incredible mind and he's able to comprehend it and understand it and get past the boredom of it. Now, that's not possible for all of us, and it's certainly not possible to do it by going somewhere, so we have to do it within our own space and environment. As I said, personally, I don't mind solitude at all. I've always been very comfortable with my own company. There's lots of things I can do to pass the day, and when I find myself at a loss for something to do, I just go out and walk around the block and clear my head by just walking. Now, I'm fortunate in that I can walk down to the little grocery store, which is about half a mile away, get a few things and walk back, and I'll encounter maybe 3 or 4 people on the way and maybe half a dozen down there in the store. But we're very isolated here, so it's a relatively safe environment from the coronavirus. When I do turn the TV on, which is now no longer a daily occurrence, and sometimes it doesn't go on for days at a time, I watch TV shows, movies, documentaries, especially wildlife ones. I don't turn on the news, I don't watch it, because it's the same thing over and over again, repeated incessantly, as if we, the people watching, are so stupid that we didn't get it the first time. Now, I know that it's for people who have just tuned in, but most people are tuned in, or a lot of people are tuned in all the time to see if there's anything new. And there isn't. There is no new news other than bad news. So what's the point in watching it? Is it going to do you any good, or is it just going to depress you more? I personally don't believe in any of it, so why bother? And then, depending on the network you're watching and their particular bias, they'll bring on an endless stream of talking heads who basically are spouting their own personal opinions. And as to their expertise, it's questionable. Very questionable. Young children, as I said, need to be endlessly entertained, and finding ways to entertain them is difficult. Teenagers, who don't want to spend any time with their parents at all because you parents, in their opinion, know nothing and are only intent on stopping them having fun, they're going to be particularly resentful, and getting past that is going to be a challenge. When you take separation anxiety and you join that with fear, anger, frustration, and hostility, you have an explosive combination, and all of you watching this have got to be very careful to make sure that that combination doesn't cause an actual explosion. Now, in the States, almost every household has guns, and you add weapons to the mix and you've got a potentially highly volatile, dangerous situation. And you don't want it ever to escalate to that, no matter how frustrated or angry you are. So how do you solve the problem, other than having your own safe space to go to? One of the important things all of us have to do is to learn how not to react instantly when somebody says or does something that would cause your blood to boil over. Instead of getting annoyed and reacting, take a deep breath, count to 10, and then respond calmly. In that 10 seconds, your brain will have analyzed what was said and the meaning behind it, and you'll be able to react accordingly, but not with anger. The only person who can make you angry is yourself. Now, sure, there are causations. There are things people say or do that will annoy you, but you choose whether to take that annoyance and turn it into anger. And when you turn it into anger, it escalates dramatically a situation that doesn't need to be escalated. If you don't get angry, anybody who is angry cannot hold and keep that anger, because anger requires anger to feed. All of us say things that are taken out of context or which came out wrong when we put our foot in our mouth. And most of the time we don't actually mean it. It's just a slip of the tongue, as they say. And you have to learn to separate those and not get angry at things without understanding the context and the meaning of them. And again, that 10 seconds will give your brain the chance to make that analysis. So take a deep breath, count to 10, and then respond, but not with anger. Everybody's scared right now. We all know that people we love and care about will die as a result of this virus. We know that we may even die ourselves. But there's nothing we can do about it. We are powerless in the face of this virus. The only thing we can do is do the best we can to keep ourselves safe and out of contact with other people who might give us or might contaminate us. It's not going to be easy, but we just have to do the best we can. Here's the best piece of advice I can give you. This is just my personal opinion, my 2 cents. Put the fear that you can do nothing about to the back of your mind, because that's the one thing you can do about it if you concentrate and focus on it. Focus on the people you love and the things that you care about, and focus on the positive, not on the negative. Look at life as if it's a glass half full rather than half empty. It may not help all that much, but it'll help a little bit. I'm Michael Richard. Be well and stay safe. Bye-bye.